this search
It is freezing, but I'm so pleased to be in Glasgow.
is a tale as old as time.
Got to get this right.
Two couples who can't get the space they need
You like this one better. I can tell.
in the locations they love.
I'm not feeling this at all.
It could be the end of Phil and Me,
Look at the condition.
Completely lost your marbles.
But we'll be going flat out.
Oh, this is nice.
That window's stunning.
and we will find two perfect homes.
This is a house.
He's the one that's coming and going, We're back in Glasgow, where the weather may be chilly, but the property market is red hot. Uncomfortable for my family, despite their return from Oz.
And I'm also up against a scorching seller's market, finding a home for a couple who are holed up with the in-laws and desperate for a place of their own.
What's the longest you've ever lived with your in-laws?
Too long.
You know this goes on the telly, don't you, Phil?
Well, we've no time to lose this week, as huge demand for Glasgow properties has driven prices up by a mighty 13% over the last year.
That's more than the UK average price rise of 10.2%.
The market's made trickier still with the Scottish offers over system, where properties go to closing dates, leading to best and final offers. So our house hunters need to be prepared and pragmatic. My pair, personal trainer Miriam and health and safety consultant David, sold their first home in Glasgow's south side with the aim of buying a house that they and Bella the dog could grow into. But 8 months later, they're still living with David's mum and dad.
We've had a good experience here, however, you do start to feel as though your life is went on hold.
I packed for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
We've been here 8 months.
They love the area where they're currently living in South Glasgow, where flats, bars and restaurants start to give way to terraces, semis and parks, which is just as well, because this pair need a home they can grow into.
Obviously, us buying the home, we're looking at it with the potential to start a family.
And if we don't have kids, we'll just have lots of dogs. Bella is our 2-year-old Cocker Spaniel. She is our absolute pride and joy.
But David and Miriam aren't ready to leave city living behind entirely.
If we have a family, we would really like to be in a nice place where you can meet people and maybe go for a coffee or nip for some food. In the spare time, I love to go to the gym. It's a big part of my life and our life. If we do have a family, there's a big potential I'd become lazy. If I've got a gym there, then
you've got no
there's
excuse. No excuse.
But some of the trappings of grown-up suburbia do appeal. For Miriam, that's a traditional period property.
You like sandstone, you like the character, all that sort of thing. Inside, I like it to be more modern.
I mean, ideal house would be sandstone on the outside and new build on the inside. I don't even know if that exists.
I don't know if it does, but we'll do our best to find it.
I do think that we need some help to see the full potential in a house.
Yes. Probably save our marriage.
And save our marriage. Yeah.
What do I tell you, Phil? Some weeks were property finders, others were marriage counsellors.
So you've sold your house 8 months later, David living with your parents, out of the market in a rising market. How many have you lost out on?
6.
What do you think's been going wrong?
We were always maybe looking at going, oh, we don't know how much to go over or anything like that.
It's very complex. The offers over system in Scotland, added into a rising market, is where on earth do you pitch your bid? Let's just talk about what it is we're looking for.
3 bedrooms plus an office.
I would like to put a gym of sort in there.
We've got a little dog, so an enclosed garden would be ideal. Utility room and 2 toilets. I mean, I'm just adding.
I definitely won't find one of those.
I'm just adding to the list of requirements here.
What's the budget?
It's 340.
You've set me a wide brief, because it could be old, it could be new, it could be a project. As long as it's in a leafy suburb with 3 bedrooms, a garden, a garage and a gym and a work from home, everything's fine. Let's get cracking.
Sounds like heavy work for you, Pip.
Indeed, Kirsty, but we'll have to move at light speed to secure all that in this market. With their 340 grand, Miriam and David want 3 beds, a downstairs loo,
A big kitchen, home gym, a garden and parking.
with cafes and green space. Miriam's desire for a short commute means I'll be looking in suburbs and towns across the south of Glasgow.
While my pair are searching over the River Clyde in the city's super swanky West End. Young love first bloomed for science academics Laura and Ewan, somewhat fittingly, after class.
Both went to the same high school.
Yeah, Laura seduced me, and for the last 16 years she's had me in some sort of spell.
Laura and Ewan moved to Australia 6.5 years ago as a couple and have returned as parents to Lily, who's 4, and James, who's 2. The family only left Oz a month ago, and Ewan is struggling a little bit with the transition.
Aye, it's a hard one for me because
I was really the driver for moving back, and it was just family.
I think seeing the reaction with their grandas has made the move back worthwhile. We lived in the heart of Sydney, amongst all the restaurants, the bars, the cafes, and that became an important part of our life.
Our dream area is in the heart of the West End, close to Ewan's mum and dad's house, close to work, but also close to Byers Road.
However, the thought of having a house with a garden also appeals.
Ewan and Laura want a family-sized home, ideally within walking distance of work, and they have a good-sized budget of £439,000. But given that a house in the West End can fetch upwards of £900,000, their requirements seem to outstrip their pockets.
A garden would be nice, a dining kitchen.
The third bedroom's non-negotiable.
And I love the old tenements, I love the high ceilings, I love the cornicing. So for me, my heart kind of lies in an old tenement.
My heart lies in a new build, so we'll see how.
And for this pair, it's all change. Ewan's imminent shift of career will see him spending a lot of time at Laura's workplace, the University of Glasgow, in the heart of the West End.
I've decided to go back to university, studying medicine starting in 5 months' time. So it would be brilliant if we were able to buy a property, get settled in before I embark on this new journey in my life.
While Ewan wants a house and Laura wants to live where they can only afford flats, they won't be moving anywhere.
Laura has it very firmly in her mind what she likes, what she would like to buy, and I've just been dragged along for the ride somewhat here.
You'll get some say.
Well, we'll see.
Reminds me of another relationship I can think of.
I am tempted to sit here and say, why would anyone return from Australia?
Don't, please.
But I've got 2 sisters who I'm very close to, so I see both sides. The slightly more troubling thing is that prices are shooting up above what we'd call down south your asking price, and the asking price is often about 10% less than the home report, and at the moment things are going forward sometimes 20% over the home report, which if you take the figures overall can mean as much as 30%.
Yeah.
So we've come back to a market where it's essentially becoming a guessing game.
It's incredibly difficult. You have 2 wee ones and you don't mind if they share a room. School catchment areas are important.
So probably the catchment area for the primary school is important.
Yeah.
The location of the grandparents will maybe be a bit of a determining factor.
Well, that all plays into the West End location because we've got the family close by and the uni for the walk to work.
OK, so it's location in terms of the lifestyle offered, school catchment area and top budget?
439. Guess the must-haves are a bath or the ability to put a bath in.
I would be quite attracted to somewhere that had a working fireplace.
I'm moving in with Laura and Ewan.
Laura can much more see the potential in a house, so I'm worried the 2 of you are going to batter me.
No, don't.
This is where we need your help.
We've not viewed a single property.
Oh, God.
We're back 4 weeks.
That's not good.
Better get a rig along, Kirstles.
Laura and Ewan have a maximum budget of £439,000, and for that they want 3 bedrooms, one of which will be a home office for Ewan.
A kitchen diner and gardens suitable for all of them.
Proximity to good schools, family and a bit of buzz is essential.
Hello, Blossom.
It is freezing, but I'm so pleased to be in Glasgow.
Lovely. We can't hang about this week, though. Another frighteningly quick market.
I know. Tell me about your house hunters.
Well, they've lost out on 6 places. Ooh. You know, the fun offers over system.
I know. You see, people say, oh, the Scottish system's so much better. It really has its downsides. No.
How about you?
They've just come back from your favourite country.
Australia?
Australia.
That's a sharp move,
It's a sharp move, and he is slightly broken by it. So I'm working with that.
I'm sure you'll build him back up, Kirsty, and I've got my work cut out too. For their 340 grand, Miriam and David want a future-proof family home with plenty of green space and amenities nearby. That's no small task with any budget, but the suburb of Cardonald has delivered a diamond.
So that is what we're going to kick off with. So a nice sandstone old house with
really
parking.
nice.
Yeah,
Plus
exciting,
parking.
exciting, definitely. Ticks
Yeah?
a lot
Yeah.
from the outside, for sure.
Yeah, it looks lovely.
Follow me.
Two happy faces there.
And they should find more to smile about inside. The kitchen is compact but bright and fits a table. There's a cosy snug, a downstairs WC and a formal front room.
Upstairs there's a family bathroom. The master's a good size, as is the second bedroom. And there's a box room and space on the landing for a desk where David could work from home.
On at offers over £250,000, it's expected to sell for around 275, 65 grand under budget, so plenty left over to do any work.
So what we have here is a really lovely formal sitting room.
Yeah.
Through a kind of TV room snug, lovely wood-burning stove.
That's really nice.
It is.
And then to the kitchen. It's very high spec.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, it is.
But the kitchen is on the smaller side of what I was expecting, I think.
There are planning applications in to extend across, which would turn the weakest part of the house into the strongest part of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me show you the garden.
Nice save, Phil, and hopefully they'll see the possibilities outside too.
The garden's pretty standard size. Looking back, David, would you put a gym in there
And you could potentially make a bigger hut.
and quite close to your work?
Very close.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would take me 15 minutes, I think.
It's a good start, for sure.
Very good start. Yeah, very good start.
I'll take that, and hopefully the upstairs allays Miriam's initial kitchen misgivings.
Oh, this is nice. Oh, this is really nice.
Seems like it might have, Pip.
I think they've been pleasantly surprised. We did ask for a sandstone house with a contemporary inside, which absolutely this is.
Very light.
It's got enough for a king-size bed. Or
Super king.
Sorry, super king.
It sounds like David's already making big plans upstairs, but size is on Miriam's mind too.
Perhaps a bit of disappointment about the kitchen.
It's definitely a box room.
Yeah.
And it seems the third bedroom might be another compromise.
And then the formal front room. How'd you get on upstairs?
There's a lot I like about it.
Yeah.
I think if that kitchen was all done,
Yes.
I think you could then maybe, I would
Yeah.
look at it maybe
Yeah.
slightly different in that way.
It's just probably size that's just no.
That's fine. Let's go and look at bigger houses.
So spot on location-wise, but not quite the square footage they'd hoped for.
But if it's size they want, it's not going to be in this condition. These two may need some vision.
This time, we're in Glasgow, where Miriam and David thought they were ahead of the game, having already sold up. But they've lost out on 6 properties, and the market is racing ahead of them.
Whereas my couple, Ewan and Laura, have returned from sunny Sydney to sunny Scotland and have yet to see a single property.
Miriam and David are desperate to get out from under his parents' roof, but not desperate enough to compromise space.
It's just probably size that's just no.
Laura and Ewan aren't long back from Oz, where they lived for more than 6 years and need a family home. My first offering is in the upmarket West End district of Dowen Hill, just 2 minutes' walk from their beloved and bustling Burrs Road, and 5 minutes from where Ewan will study medicine.
The property is on the corner. How do you feel about where we are now?
It's lovely. Close to the nursery, close to work, close to Ewan's mum and dad.
I am a bit more reserved about the location. I know how studenty this area is.
Ewan, you are about to become a student.
Aye, but a student with a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old is a bit different.
Okie doke.
Back of the class for you, Kirstles.
Well, this search was never going to be child's play, but I might be getting top marks for this tenement flat. The sitting room offers bags of period charm, and the kitchen has views of the garden, which is shared and accessed via a lane to the side of the building, and that's typical of the properties in this top spot.
The main suite has a bath Laura could soak in to her heart's content.
And with 2 double bedrooms and a single third bed, there's space for a study. On the market, at offers over £335,000, under the Scottish system, it will likely fetch around £400,000.
So I must admit, I love the own front door.
Nice. I really like it.
It's very bright on the corner. Where there's
It's
lots
just
of
great.
light.
I like both windows. It's gorgeous. No, I really like this.
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
Go and have a look at the rest of it and see what you think.
After that start, I just hope the bedrooms pass the test.
So this is another bedroom. Look at the height of that window. That's gorgeous.
I feel a little bit like I'm on a tightrope this week. It's obvious that Ewan and Laura are coming at this from different angles. He's not resigned to the move from Australia.
If that's the second bedroom and this is the third study hybrid room, this wouldn't really work functionally as a kids' playroom.
Particularly this week, I feel that I need to navigate a very straight and fair path between the two of them.
All right, okay.
Okay, so this is a master and there's an ensuite.
Oh,
Wow,
wow.
look at this.
Yes. Yes, yes. I'm sold on the bath.
Right, this is it. I'll stay here. You can go and see the rest of the house.
Looks like you could be bathed in glory before the day's out.
I'm not pouring the bubble bath just yet.
I don't really see where we could comfortably eat with the children as a family.
What are you thinking?
I love the own front door. I love the location, but it's whether we see this as a property we can live in with our children.
Great, very well put. Let's go and look at the garden.
The outside space is quite generous for this part of town. I'm hoping it says family living to Ewan.
This is nice. It looks
Oh, yeah.
well looked after. Perfect. Put a wee picnic blanket down. This is a nice shared garden. This is what we're looking for out of a shared.
so this is what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about. I think if the other properties we see are as good as this one, we'll be buying a property in the next day.
Just slow down, Ewan.
No,
Just slow down.
Don't say that. I want him to speed up.
I know you do. I'm so happy, Ewan. Honestly, I'm really, really genuinely pleased that we're in this state now. Let's move on to property 2.
It's a good start, but I really hope I can find them something with more family space inside.
For our second property, I'm taking Miriam and David to a more spacious house in an ideal spot for walks with dog Bella. We're in the suburb of Bella Houston, and a certain Southern belle is gracing us with her presence.
Hello again. Fancy seeing you here.
I hope Phil's been looking after you.
Did a good job in the first one, so high expectations.
How does this area compare with where we've come from?
The area we know,
Yeah.
but we've not actually seen a house here.
This is a bit of a project.
Okay.
But it is on at the same price, albeit offers over, than where we've come from. I've really confused them, haven't I? Come on, let's get
In
in.
you go.
Yes, I don't think we've ever bamboozled house hunters into buying, Phil.
All should become clear inside. This property has a bay-fronted formal sitting room and an additional living room ripe for knocking through to create a large kitchen diner.
On the first floor is the master bedroom. 2 more good-sized bedrooms, a separate loo and shower room. On the second floor, there is an attic, which could easily become an office.
While undoubtedly a doer-upper, it's on at offers over £250,000, so there'll be plenty of room left for renovation in their 340 grand top budget.
So you can see it is...
Dated
Yes.
is the word he's looking for. Dated.
Yes.
I think this is sensationally of its time.
Yeah.
And to be honest, if you could keep the corner sofa, I would, because it's such a thing of beauty. I mean, look at the condition
You
that's in.
completely lost your marbles.
No, I haven't. I'm not kidding. It's in immaculate condition.
We're here to, anyway, we'll look at the dimensions and the space on offer.
I think it reminds me of my gran.
It does, yeah. Could you de-gran it?
Yeah. Yeah. The size of the room's good.
For me, I'll be interested to see the rest of the house.
Okay.
I'll follow you, David.
Okay, they can go
You
upstairs.
girls can, you know, we've got to buy a house. You've got to and bring the search to an end.
Yeah.
Don't let Kirsty put you off.
Yours truly, Phil? Never.
So we've got 3 beds, 1 bath, and a surprise.
Oh, wow.
So you've got a big space up there.
Yeah. Yeah. Not too sure it will sell it to Miriam, but but it is a good space.
Despite all the space, it will take real vision to see the great potential in this house.
Is it the amount of work?
When I went into that house that we've just seen before, I went in and I could imagine us living there, and I can't here.
Meanwhile,
But I might change my mind. I've only seen one room.
yeah.
So there might be hope yet, Phil.
I mean, it's a nice view.
Nice view, however, you would need to do everything.
Yep,
Like that.
everything.
Not a bullseye.
No, it's polite.
Like, it is a good size.
I just don't think that we have it in us to do this type of project.
But at least you're smiling.
Yeah.
I'm smiling because when we were looking upstairs, Miriam was going, oh, it's a really nice space. I mean, we could maybe do...
It's not for everyone doing a project like this.
Before we came here, we says that we would potentially be into doing something up, whereas now I would say I don't think we would.
When I'm making these choices on House Hunters' behalf, it always is a bit of a gamble. But the bedrooms were significantly better than the first house.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And the sports centre across the road. Those were the two things that I kind of was clinging on to.
And quite rightly so.
That's a whole other show Phil clings on.
That show's sounding quite attractive just now, but at the moment, projects are off the cards if I'm to find the right home for these two.
I'm back in the pricey West End with Laura and Ewan to see if I can top property 1. For our second tenement flat, we're the other side of Buzzy Byers Road in the district of Hill Head, and I'm hoping this historic area provides a timely triumph on our search.
We're not a million miles from where we were, so location-wise, we're still good.
This is going to be house versus house.
Not for me. For me, we're now getting away from where I thought we would be.
I thought we were literally 5 minutes walk from where we were earlier.
We are.
I would have been happy a 5 minutes walk the other way, but I'm hoping to find a bigger property.
Ewan's wish is my command. There's a good-sized dining kitchen and a large sitting room with a stunning 5-section corner bay window.
There are 4 large bedrooms, a family bathroom and a shared garden at the rear.
On at offers over £355,000, we expect it to sell for around 10 grand under their maximum budget of 439. What's not to love?
First impressions?
More the size we were thinking, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
You're very quiet, Ewan. This isn't like you.
I'm not feeling this at all, and I would need to be massively wowed not to just walk out just now and say this is a no.
That's a very decisive statement about this particular flat.
The location, the close, the entranceway. But my gut feeling just now is I would compromise in size for the right property.
Ah, it seems Ewan's found a few things not to love. But as this is only the second property they've viewed since their return from Oz, there's still benefit to having a look around.
Okay, this is a big room.
Yeah.
I love this flat, which is probably the kiss of death.
So another bedroom. Again, kids, so let's imagine you've got Lily's bedroom, James's bedroom.
There's a funny thing on location, location, location. If I really, really love a property, my house hunters very rarely go for it.
I'm never going to be able to come in and use this space.
Okay.
I'm not sure it's shaping up for either of them, Kirsty.
Ooh, what a beautiful living room. That window's stunning.
It's not swayed you, has it, Ewan? I can tell from your mouth.
My head says that this is a much better space. It'll be a better long-term investment, but my heart is saying this doesn't feel my home.
Yeah. It's a beautiful house. It's a great size, but it's the exact same as everything we've rented in Glasgow. This, I think, we would just feel like was another stopgap until we bought our home.
Out the door we go. There is no point wasting your time.
Looks like it's back to the drawing board with this one.
Indeed, Phil, a radical rethink is in order if I'm to find this family a home. In Glasgow, we're swimming against the Clyde.
Yesterday, Ewan was a bit like a bear with a sore head.
I would need to be massively wowed not to just walk out just now and say this is a no.
Now we're in Bear's Den. You might cheer up.
Ah yes, the home of many a former West Ender.
And with Miriam and David, I haven't nailed it yet. Things have been a little bit unpredictable, but I'm very much still in the game.
Before we came here, we says that we would potentially be into doing something up, whereas now I would say I don't think we would.
Having lost out on 6 properties over 8 months, Miriam and David want a future family home with access to the vibrant streets of the south side. Our third option is located just a 5-minute drive from boutique shops and cafes. After a not quite right and a no way, I'm hoping I've found a jewel in the crown of Kings Park.
I've got to get this right. I've got to get this right now. Time is of the essence. Hi, you two.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Kings Park. Another terraced house with parking.
Okay.
It's probably not as architecturally inspiring as other houses that we've looked at.
You're right with the aesthetics. It doesn't wow me, but hopefully inside does.
And are you OK with Kings Park?
Yeah, we've heard good
We've
things.
heard really good things
Yeah.
about Kings Park. We just haven't viewed any houses here, so...
Let's put that right.
Okay.
It might not be fancy on the outside, but it's move-in ready on the inside, giving them plenty of time to enjoy the local buzz and room to start a family.
There's a formal sitting room, a snug TV room just off a good-sized kitchen diner, a downstairs loo and a south-facing garden.
Upstairs there are 3 bright and well-proportioned bedrooms, a family bathroom and an attic.
On offers over £260,000, it should come in at less than £300,000, well under their 340 grand budget.
This is kind of the second reception room, but it's a snug TV room.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it opens through to the big kitchen diner.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd potentially do the kitchen up.
Yeah.
Modernise it slightly, but yeah.
Added to which, through that door, is the utility room, and that's the first time I've been able to show you one of those. See, I do listen.
Only sometimes, Pip, but when you do, you seem to get it right.
We just need them to be as impressed with the upper floors, and we could have a contender.
Nice. It's a good size.
And wardrobes. Nice big bedroom.
It seems to be going well. They're being very positive.
Oh, I don't know if this is going to work for you.
All right, I'm fine.
I do need to get some kind of commitment and decisiveness out of them if they're going to buy a house in this market.
So it's a good space.
It's a little cat in a box there.
Oh, wow, it's a wee cat.
A tiny little kitten. Hi, cat.
Clearly, there are some height issues for 6'5" David, but with 3 other bedrooms, this house may be the perfect fit.
Come and join me in the garden, south-facing garden. Did you fit in the attic?
No, you didn't.
It's not ideal, but I think it's
I think
good.
you would use it as a spare bedroom
Yeah.
rather than an office, and then you'd use the small room as the office.
Yeah. The rest of the house is
Really
really
nice.
nice.
We've got a contender.
Definitely, definitely got a contender.
Excellent. Come on, let's hit the road.
After Miriam's first impressions of the house, you must have the Midas touch.
Why, thank you, Kirsty. And I'm happy to sprinkle some gold dust on your next property.
The West End isn't living up to Laura and Ewan's hopes for family space, so I'm bringing us to the charming suburb of Bear's Den, where, not unlike Goldilocks, I'm hoping my third property will be just right.
Hello.
Hello.
Morning.
So, chirping birds, quiet area. How do you feel?
I'm excited to see a different lifestyle that we could have.
And what do you feel now, Ewan? Because
He
yesterday...
hasn't seen the house yet.
Shush. No.
That's what
Look, no, shush. Phil's couple saw a house and they were just like, no.
I had that yesterday with property 2.
And that's not how you feel right now.
Quite the opposite. I'm excited to see what we
Okay.
can get.
Good, we've established that. Let's go in.
This property has been a family home to the vendors for 20 years and could be just the kind of child-friendly space Laura and Ewan have been hoping for. There's a kitchen diner which flows into the living room, a separate office for Ewan, a good-sized garden and a front room which is currently used as a 4th bedroom and would make a great playroom for Lily and James.
Upstairs, there are 3 bedrooms and a family bathroom. And there are good schools within walking distance.
As we think it's likely to sell for around £400,000, it's nearly 40 grand under budget.
First reactions.
I really like it.
Ewan?
My overwhelming reaction is this is a house.
Yeah.
I want to keep Ewan's initial enthusiasm up. Chop chop, Pip.
We have 3 bedrooms and a bathroom, all of them pretty good size. And then, well, they use this as the master room. What do you think?
You get a nice light-filled property, plenty of space.
This is a family area. There'll be other kids on the street. And it's a nice, safe environment.
I drove the house with the garden in the suburbs before we had seen the city centre properties. My head says a house like this would be fantastic for the family. My heart says I want to live in the action, the West End.
You better see what your wife thinks.
So, a complete change of tune from Ewan. But is Laura singing from the same hymn sheet?
I don't know, like the kids could be more of themselves here. They could be louder, they could jump about.
There's no doubt that this house gives you more options.
Yeah.
But two things I just want to chuck in. Firstly, in this climate, how much are you going to shove the kids into the garden? Because this ain't Sydney.
Yes.
And the second thought, how much of the children's time are you both going to mess with that commute?
I think it's like 40 minutes.
Car
So-
seats, booster seats,
And our kids
seat
get
belts.
really car sick as well.
I suggest you go and stand in the garden with your husband.
It seems the house is a yes, but they both realise something else matters more. Location,
Location.
location.
It's a nice wee garden, but I think the West End is worth more than a garden.
40 minutes travel time each way. That's an hour and 20 minutes I don't get to spend with Lily and James.
Hi.
Hiya.
I'm looking at cushions on the internet.
Funnily enough, I could have guessed. I don't think they're ready to make this decision.
It's silly because you could think, oh, they're from Glasgow, but they don't know about Glasgow with kids.
No. They're fresh off the boat and they haven't seen enough.
But they might have just seen enough to agree city living trumps family space.
Would you spend your weekends here? Like, the kids would want to go to a play park, in which if you lived in the West End, that's what you'd do, you would take them to the play park.
Sounds to me like you two are on the same page.
I know, it's quite nice.
I don't think the sacrifice of getting home from work 45, 50 minutes later than it would be in the West End
And leaving 45 minutes earlier.
Oh.
is worth it.
So, 3 viewings in, and at least Laura and Ewan are agreed on where they want to be. That's progress, and I'm determined to find their perfect West End family home.
Back in the suburbs, on the south side of the city, Miriam and David loved property 3, the bright and well-situated 3-bed. But knowing how important space is for them, I'm bringing them to the town of East Kilbride to show them what you can get for your money a 25-minute drive out from the city.
I had to show you one house with a garage, didn't I?
Yes.
There is the gym.
Yeah.
It comes with a rather nice house attached to it.
Well, that's good. That's positive news.
The rub is that it is the longer commute. There aren't so many amenities on your doorstep.
Yeah. We went for a house that's only a couple of minutes away from here in East Kilbride. You know, so
OK, that's a good sign.
that...
Yeah.
I
know we
give,
need to make a
give with one
compromise.
hand, I take with the other.
Very much so.
Come on.
You had David at Here's the Garage. Not so sure about Miriam, though.
But it may be worth a short drive to the cafes and shops for the incredibly generous living space on offer in this new build. A large sitting room leads to an equally spacious dining room. There's Miriam's preferred additional WC and a kitchen diner with French doors leading onto an enclosed garden. Perfect for dogs and any kids that come along in the future.
Upstairs, there are 4 double bedrooms, 2 with an ensuite and a separate family bathroom.
On offers over £265,000, I believe we could bag it for in the region of 280 grand, more than 60,000 under budget, giving them room to stamp some personality on it.
Big living room.
Big living room.
Through to the dining room.
Nice.
And then we've still got a kitchen diner.
Yep. Really nice.
Upstairs, we've got 4 bedrooms and there's 3 bathrooms up there, plus a downstairs loo here. So
Wow, there's a lot of bathrooms.
There we go.
A lot of bathrooms. Tick.
yeah,
Tick that box.
yeah.
Yeah.
You love it instantly. And I said I would be the one to show, and he's the one that's coming and going, ah!
Exactly the reaction I'd hoped for, and still lots more to see.
I'm counting my blessings here because they've got good opportunities. They've got good choices.
What's this room then? Is this the master? I don't know what's the master and what's not.
It's not my decision, luckily, because I wouldn't have a clue what to do.
I sometimes wonder how you got this job, Phil.
I like both, so...
Yeah, but you like this one better. I can tell. You like this one better. So, whereas I think I prefer the other one.
I wonder who'll win that.
We'll see.
So Miriam likes property 3 in Kings Park, and David loves this one.
But now it really is time for them both to get on the same page.
Found your way around?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thought-provoking?
Yeah, you definitely get a lot more here.
Can you see yourselves living in here and in this environment? Because it's very different.
I don't know yet. I don't know yet. Whereas you do.
Why do you think that is?
What the other house has and the location and has everything that we like close by.
Yeah.
But then here has everything as in space-wise. So it's weighing up what we would prefer.
A good problem to have, but they'll have to make a decision and fast. Neither property's going to hang around long in this speedy market.
Back in the West End, I've got wind of what I think is the perfect property for Laura and Ewan. This part has a family feel, and not surprisingly, the vendors have a young family. Due to the massive amount of buyer interest they've had, they are now only taking second viewings.
We're so lucky on location, that you let us into your homes. But occasionally, that's just not possible.
We've managed to convince the sellers to let Laura and Ewan view, on the condition it's with minimum entourage and no unnecessary fuss.
Which I presume means you're not going with them, Kirsty.
Yup, you guessed it. But I don't mind, because this stunning tenement flat has the big family kitchen Ewan told me he wanted, great living space, 3 double bedrooms, and lots of period detailing that could be right up Laura's street. Student digs these are not. While it's valued at $385,000, it's likely to go for around $420,000, well within their top budget of $439,000. However, one offer has already been rejected, and there are 2 other notes of interest. It's our last chance to bring this search to an end, and I can only hope they've liked it. In Glasgow, I'm waiting to hear what Laura and Ewan made of my 11th hour find in their top area.
And I've got 2 properties in the running. David loved property 4, the spacious, newer property further out of Glasgow, whereas Miriam preferred the buzzier vibe of Kings Park. But even she wasn't totally convinced by the house itself. So we're back to help make their minds up.
You look a bit shell-shocked this morning, I have to say.
Yeah.
Did you get any sleep?
No, we were thinking we might come in here and you might have got a crew in last night and knocked all this through and done the kitchen.
No.
Okay.
But I mean, on that note, you could utilise all that space. There's an awfully big ceiling void up there. Get rid of this.
Yep.
So enjoy the pitch of the roof.
Yeah.
Ballpark cost of doing that between 2 and 4 grand.
Yeah.
Not complicated. 2 weeks' work.
Yeah.
We would just get it all done before moving in,
Yeah.
wouldn't we?
They're sold on the living space, but they did have reservations about where David could have his office.
You get a desk there and a desk there, and potentially a sofa bed.
Yeah, I think that's where we would use this for. Quite happy.
It's a big decision, and one that could finally bring Miriam and David's 8 months of living with his parents to an end.
How was that second viewing for you?
I think location's great. I think it was just working out whether it was big enough.
And it definitely ticks all the boxes. We do really like it.
Is the house in East Kilbride, which you liked so much, David, is that out? If we weren't able to get this, is it back to the drawing board?
Back to the drawing board.
Back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
With 2 notes of interest and a second viewing booked, the heat is on with property 3 now firmly in Miriam and David's sights.
And after a tumultuous search, I'm dying to find out Laura and Ewan's reaction to the property they went to see on their own.
We had property 1, which you both really liked. Property number 2 and property number 3, we don't need to dwell on. There was a property 4, and what do you think?
Loved it.
Perfect.
Perfect house.
You see?
I would describe it as property 2, kind of feel, but immaculate.
And it's right next to the chippy.
I prefer being next to the Indian, personally, but, you know.
Takeaway tastes aside, Laura and Ewan aren't the only ones hungry for this first-floor tenement. We're working in the Scottish system and best and final offers have been submitted. We'll need to hit on a figure of 10 to 15% overvaluation to be in with a chance.
Now, its valuation is 385. 10% of 385 is 42350. But there are two other notes of interest, and there has been an offer which has been rejected, the level of which we don't know. So that leaves us with the ballpark of 430. Would you like it to be a straight 430, or do you want to say, for example, 4321, or, you know, just something that makes you stand out a bit?
We don't want to miss this property.
Yeah, I don't want to miss this property.
My worry is that if they say no to 430, we're going 440.
Right, okay.
Whereas if we're going in at 4321, the vendor's reaction may be, well, we were hoping for 430, we've got a bit extra, let's take it now.
Let's rip their arm off for it.
Okay, I'm happy with that then.
So 4321 directly to the agent now.
Yep.
£432,100 is the offer. Fingers crossed it's the magic number.
Exciting.
Caroline, is that you? My client, Laura and Ewan, really want that flat. They have fallen in love with it. So the offer is 4321 because we want the countdown to getting the flat. Brilliant. Fantastic. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you. Bye.
Here's hoping our bold bid pays off.
Over with me, Miriam and David have missed out on 6 previous properties, and they're desperate to secure their dream home.
It's on the market, offers over 260. Home report is 270. There are currently 2 notes of interest on it. There are 4 viewings, including 1 second viewing, booked over the next couple of days.
Okay.
Be in touch with the agent this morning. The owner's solicitor has instructed today that they are going to go to a closing bid Monday at 12 o'clock.
I actually feel sick. I didn't want those words to come out of your mouth. The words I wanted to come out of your mouth would be, yes, I will phone the agent and I'll see what I can do. So...
I've already done that.
I know.
I've already done that, and that was what I was really banking on and hoping that I could wrangle that, but... And therefore we end up coming up with a number that you're happy to pay,
Yeah.
and equally happy to walk away if somebody else beats it.
We were thinking the kind of 15% mark, which is obviously 310, would be fair.
I mean, we don't need to take it any further because you've got until Monday. Today's Thursday, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. We definitely want to make an offer.
I'll keep the agent on side. We'll do what we can.
Okay, thanks.
Let's chat on Monday.
So Miriam and David have a few days to settle on a comfortable number to try and beat the competition.
With equally high interest in Laura and Ewan's dream flat, I'm hoping our offbeat offer is enough to seal the deal.
Caroline. That is really good news. Thank you so much. That is a great relief, I have to say. I'm very grateful. Okay, great. Bye. Yay. We just bought a house. Cheers.
Yes.
Yes.
I
No,
think
you've made the right choice.
we have 100% done the right thing. We couldn't have done it without your
Oh, you
help.
could have
No,
done
we couldn't. We really couldn't.
After a rollercoaster few days, I'm delighted to have secured Laura and Ewan their first family home. Almost 2 months later, Laura and Ewan are eagerly counting down the 6 weeks till they get their keys.
When we went into the place, it was beautiful. It was just so bright and airy. It had the huge ceilings, which are gorgeous. I'm already buying my wardrobes and my couches. The colours all tie into the wallpaper.
I think we just can't wait to get in.
I'm glad Ewan is over his homecoming jitters and fully invested in making this tenement their first family home.
Having the opportunity to see the range of houses, I know we've bought the right one and we've done the right thing for ourselves and our family.
We couldn't have got this house without Kirsty. And also, she could get a job as a counsellor, I think, if she ever decides to leave property.
It's been life-changing, just having somewhere that both us and the kids can call their own.
And the cat.
And the cat, eh?
Cat.
Just one though.
Maybe.
However, many new arrivals are to come. I'm overjoyed to have helped these cats get the cream.
In the end, Miriam and David decided not to make an offer on property 3 in Kings Park.
We just didn't have that feeling, I don't think.
But they then viewed a house we considered showing but didn't, as it wasn't in their top spots.
As Phil says, you need to make a compromise. So I think the compromise that we made was location.
Yeah, we walked in and saw the kitchen and I was like, absolutely yes.
And so,
We actually got the house and our offer was accepted.
for 360 grand in the town of Cambuslang, they got this detached 4-bed with space for a gym.
I don't think we would have got this house if we hadn't had that time with Phil.
We did go over budget, but it's completely worth it. He said 10 grand, it's a lot of money, but over 25 years, it's not much in mortgage repayments, so...
Yeah. And that's exactly what
That's what we did.
In for a week, and they're already planning to expand their brood.
Whether our family extends by fur babies or other babies, then we've got the space for them.
Looks like Bella could get a sibling very soon.
Next time, the property market's gone wild.
Wow.
And we need to grasp the nettle.
So how's it been going?
Not well. There were 40 viewings of this property over the weekend.
Although we cherry-pick the best of the bunch.
There was a surprise.
That is a big master.
This is the type of bathroom I would enjoy.
Sometimes there is a thorn in our side.
Thoughts? No garden.
It's the hill.
But we always try to come up smelling of roses.
All boxes have been ticked.
I love it.
Ooh.
I aim to please.
If you'd like help finding your next home, then we want to hear from you. You can apply online at channel4.com/take part.